So I want to do a tap with you right now on, drum roll please, procrastination and putting things off to the last minute. We all know we do it, right? And sometimes we do that around taxes. Sometimes we do that around housekeeping. Sometimes we do that around exercise or diet or nutrition or sleep. And we put it off, and then we try to catch up all at once. That's a rougher way to go. We've been taught how to do that primarily through the school system, where we cram for tests. We really don't want the information from school, so we put it off because we have resistance. We cram it in our heads, and then we kind of regurgitate it out on a test and then try to forget about it. And we want to break that habit because slow and steady wins the race. You're actually going to feel better and have a more balanced lifestyle if you don't try to cram all your vacation in one chunk and all your work in one chunk, but you learn how to modulate back and forth a little more frequently. Okay, you'll have a better work-play balance, and also less stress in general, because it's no fun crunching, not just for a course, but for anything, trying to prep for a wedding or anything like that. Okay, so follow along with me, sweet friends. Massaging the front of your chest, remembering that you can modify your tap to better suit you and make it applicable. Okay, so I want to start the session on just our tendencies to put off doing our work in this course, and then we can branch out to other things that you procrastinate. And remember that you can use this tap again and do it on other things. And I'm sure I have a tap somewhere in the video library at worldtappingscircle.com around procrastination. I think I do. Okay, massaging the front of your chest. Finding that sore spot in the front of your chest. It's going to be in your upper pectoral region somewhere. You'll feel it's like, that's a little tender. Press on it and rub and breathe. Even though part of me puts things off to the last minute, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the eyebrows. Part of me puts things off to the last minute. Tap the temples. Even though I have a habit of doing this sometimes. Tap the cheeks. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the nose. Why do I put things off? What's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it that you're too busy, or you tell yourself you'll do it later, that you don't have the time? Tap under the lips. Why do I put things off and wait till the last minute? Tap the chest. Blurt out the answer. Take your answer and say this. Part of me believes that, say your answer, gives me more time. Tap the front of the ribs, okay? Bottom of the rib cage. Right here. Part of me believes that putting things off gives me more what? Tap the side of the ribs. Part of me thinks it's a good strategy, that I have more freedom, that I can get more done. Tap the inside of the wrist. Big, deep breath. Where did I learn to put things off to the last minute? Tuning in, noticing if this is a habit for you, asking yourself, when did I pick this up? Was it in school? Was it at home? Maybe your mom was trying to make you clean your room and you waited until you wanted to go somewhere before you cleaned it. Tap the side of the thumb and move to the index finger. I learned to procrastinate and put things off when I was how old? Tap the middle finger, and I was doing what? See if you can remember what that stressful situation was that you were trying to avoid. It was distasteful, or it didn't seem fun, or it felt like it was going to take too long. So you put it off and put it off, and it got harder and harder. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. Putting things off, showing up at the very last minute. Tap your little finger. I'm used to doing this. Big, deep breath. Tap the side of the hand. I'm used to putting things off in order to do what? Tap the top of the head. Even though this started when I was younger and I was feeling overwhelmed about what? Tap the back of the head and the side of the head. It started when I was trying to do what? Tap the temples. And now similar situations trigger the same response. Check in and see if that's true. So a lot of people started that in school, and because this is a school, or at least it's called a school, you might have triggered a subconscious response to putting off doing your lessons because homework was a drag, your teachers were boring, and you weren't allowed to run and play and do what you really wanted to do as a natural being. Tap the chest and breathe. Even though I put things off when I was younger because it felt heavy, hard, and overwhelming, tap the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big, deep breath. And the side of the ribs. This resistance. Tune into your resistance. You know you feel it. For example, you know you're going somewhere. You know how long it takes to get there, but you wait to leave the house as if the road's going to get shorter, as if the traffic's going to disappear, and you end up being 5 to 10 minutes late consistently. Okay? It's the same thing. Tap the inside of the wrist. Even though part of me puts off, say what it is, tap the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the index finger. I accept the part of me that doesn't want to do the difficult work until I absolutely have to. Tap the middle finger and breathe. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I love and respect myself, even though I have this rebellious part that's taking a stand for my free time, my freedom, my creativity, and my play. Tap your little finger. And if that doesn't ring true for you, then ask yourself, what is the rebellious part taking a stand for? Maybe it's trying to force you to do more work. So you jam work into every little spare second, and you tell yourself you don't have time for something as frivolous as doing your online course. Tap the side of the hand. I love and respect myself, even though my excuse is, and say your excuse again. And tap the top of your head. I love and forgive myself. Tap the side of the head and the back of the head. I forgive myself for stressing myself out, for waiting to the last minute, and making things more challenging for myself. Tap the eyebrows. I forgive myself for waiting to the last minute. Tap the temples. And stressing myself out. Big, noisy breath. Tap the cheeks. A part of me has a resistance to showing up a little early. Tap under the nose. To showing up prepared. Tap under the lips. To feeling ready. Tap the chest. Sometimes I put things off to build up the motivation. I use the pressure to force myself to get going. Does that sound familiar? That if you don't have to get it done, it seems like, well, I'm not that motivated, but you wait until you put that pressure on yourself and then you have to get it done. So then you find the time and you make yourself do it. Tap the front of the ribs. I learned to motivate myself this way when I was doing what? Was it when you were studying? Tap the side of the ribs. I'm open to loving and forgiving myself. Inside of the wrist. Even though I learned to procrastinate in order to motivate myself. Now look at the logic of that. Putting it off, like pulling back the slingshot, somehow I'm going to go further the longer I wait. Does it really work out like that? Do you feel like it's a great success strategy? Tap your index finger. I love and accept myself. I'm releasing the need to put myself through that torture. Tap the middle finger. Perhaps I could be motivated by something else. So what would a good substitution be? Instead of stress being a motivator or a deadline being a motivator? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. What about your curiosity or your self-care or even self-respect? Because it really doesn't feel good to show up with apologies all the time, does it? Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, or oh, I'm sorry I forgot, or I'm almost there, or even make up excuses and tell kind of little white lies like, yeah, I'm almost done when you haven't really started. Tap your little finger. I love and accept myself, even though I've used this old strategy to get through life. Tap the side of the hand. And I might keep using that strategy. You have that option. You're not a bad person if you never heal this, okay? I just want to make that clear. Tap the top of the head. But is it fun for you to have that amount of stress when you're embarking on something that you really want to do? Tap the eyebrows. I'm releasing my need to put things off and to burden myself. Tap the temples. Big sigh. Tap the cheeks. Asking you this question. Ready? Who in your family was late or a procrastinator? Tap under the nose. Or who in your family was so intensely scared of that and stressed out that they stressed you out and you rebelled against that behavior because you had to get to the movies, 15 minutes early, and they were grumpy and freaky, and it was just something you never wanted to do. So it could be you're doing something just like that person, or you're rebelling and doing the opposite. Tap the chest. Even though I may have picked up this pattern from who? Tap the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the ribs. I may have picked up this pattern from, say it again, and inside of the wrist. I'm open to releasing this pattern I picked up from being around who? And tap the side of the thumb. I love and respect myself. And tap the index finger. Even if I still have some of this lingering till the day I die, give yourself permission to keep the pattern. Don't force yourself to change it. Accept it as deep as it goes from wherever it started. Big noisy breath. Tap the middle finger. I'm open to letting myself hold on to this for as long as it truly serves me. Tuning in again. Is it truly serving me to wait until the last minute and then try to get everything done? Try to get myself ready without the proper preparation. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm open to the possibility of allowing myself to choose a new strategy now. Tap the little finger. Even though that old strategy did get me through some tough times. It did, right? Tap the side of the hand. I can use the old strategy anytime I want to. And I also have an option for a new strategy of being prepared, of feeling ready, of having a little wiggle room. I could even show up a little early and get situated and be ready to go. Tap the top of the head. I'm allowing myself the proper pace and the optimal rate of flow. I don't need to force myself or hold myself back. Tap the sides of the head and the back of the head. You know, you could be procrastinating because they didn't let you move fast enough. Tap the temples. You know, in school, they want you to move at a certain pace. I wanted to learn very quickly, and I was constantly bored and thwarted. And that's why I made this course for you at your own self-pace, so you can just go, go, go if you want to. Tap the cheeks. I love and accept myself. Tap into the nose. No matter what my style is, tap under the lips. I'm learning to pace myself in a way that works best for me. Good. Tap your chest. Say 3 or 4 positive things towards this goal. What would you want to customize this session with some positive statements that you're going to tap into your brain now? I'm giving myself this new possibility. It's more fun and easy for me. I'm motivating myself with love and curiosity. I like that grounded feeling I get when I'm prepared and I'm up on my game. Tap all over the body and breathe. Okay.